Hi, 8th grade. It is day number 13 of career readiness. And today is about Smart Futures number 4. You should not have Chromebooks open until this video is over. Just a reminder. All right, so activity 4. Again, we should know what an entrepreneur is. You should find some traits that entrepreneurs have, and you're also going to answer whether you would like to have your own business one day or not. So as a reminder, an entrepreneur is a person that organizes and operates a business, taking on greater than normal financial risks to do so. Now, activity number 4, I'm actually just going to go into activity 4. We're going to watch several videos so that you're able to do the thoughts part of this later. So, one moment. Activity number 4, learning from entrepreneurs. Yes. Okay, so there's a quick 47-second video, and then we're going to have a couple videos after that, so hold on for those.
Learning from entrepreneurs with Smart Futures. What do you think of when you hear the word entrepreneurship? Creating products? Taking risks? Awesome rewards? In this lesson, you will learn even more from real entrepreneurs. You can choose from 16 videos showcasing 16 different entrepreneurs and industries. Select a category that interests you the most and see what you learn. And don't worry about the perfect choice. You can learn from as many entrepreneurs as you'd like.
Okay, so from here, you then are going to begin the activity, which has many different videos over here. There used to be, I don't know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 15, it looks like. So I'm going to show you coffee. That one seems to be one that has a lot of good info. So I'm going to start that one and play that. You should be, if you're not in class, you should watch 3 of these videos. So you probably are going to have to start them on yours to be able to get to the summary. You can start them and just move them the whole way to the end then.
Jason Christensen. I'm the president and CEO of Rigid Industries. We manufacture forward projection LED lighting, anything from a combine to a tank to an ATV to a...
Okay, apparently I don't know what I did, but that's not the coffee one. I want the coffee one because it's good. Here we go.
Danny O'Neill with the Roastery. I was born and raised in a small town in Iowa, and during my senior year in high school, I signed up to be a foreign exchange student. And so shortly after Christmas, I got a letter that said, okay, you're going to Costa Rica to live for a year. Went to high school and played basketball with my friends down there, and later in the year I went coffee picking. And I didn't drink coffee at the time, but we were up in the mountains, and it was idyllic. It felt totally natural, and I've always really had a kind of a kinship with farmers. Farmers are the same all over the world, you know. I just love farmers, so I really love the coffee farmers. I was trying to think about what to do, and coffee was the only idea that I had. And it was in the basement of the Kauffman Foundation, actually, that I was first called an entrepreneur. And I still vividly remember that. I was thinking, oh, that sounds good. What's that? The attributes were all the ones that I had always gotten in trouble for. Thinking outside the box, being independent, persevering, not quitting, all these things. So I started with this notion of give folks what they want, where they want, when they want, and do it better than anybody else. We can pick up the phone and talk to a green coffee broker and get coffee sent to us. And then you roast it. It's deceptively simple. I wrote out my mission statement, which is still the same. Best coffee, best roasted, fast as possible. I was scared to death. I had $17,000 and started in my basement, right? But it was that fear of failure, I think, that motivated me. That's what works for me. I was so afraid to fail that I just kept going. I think there's a lot of innate entrepreneurialism that the system takes out of the kids. there's this insatiable curiosity, and I think most of us have it. It might get buried if we're introverted, but there's a lot of intense intrinsic curiosity, spontaneity, and passion. My dad used to say, you find what you're looking for. Every one of these things that I do, somehow or another, comes back, and some people might call it karma, some people call it all kinds of different things, but I just know that I have that old Dale Carnegie, if you help enough other people get what they want, you're going to get what you want. When I have an idea, I tell as many people as I can. I want as much feedback as I can. It's messy. So from point A to point B, I have all this mess in the middle, but all that informs that idea, and most likely it's going to kill it before I spend a lot of time and effort. I want, good energy, be around smart people, and all that comes back, and, it fills my cup in lots of different ways.
Okay, and we'll do the hip hop graffiti is a good one, I think.
My name is Mark Echo. I am by nature an artist. I came up at a time when it was a very unique window in popular culture. Hip hop was emerging. There was an entrepreneurial virus that is hip hop that rock and roll didn't quite have in the same way. There was a little bit more self-loathing amongst the rock set in terms of the commercialization of their work, where in hip hop it's been embraced to go create industry around your ideas. It's become a part of the ecosystem because it's coming from nothing, right? And there's kind of this implied element of social justice as well in the business, born out of like what is hip hop and street culture. So that's kind of baked into the DNA of what we do. I love this fact that folks are making something from nothing. In my peer set, we're finding value basically in the ether amongst themselves. 4 rappers would get together, rhyme in a circle, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, let's make a mixtape, right? From nothing. I wanted to fit into that ecosystem. I couldn't rap, I couldn't break dance, right? But I did connect to art, so I kind of started to parrot the art of graffiti and started painting t-shirts. I loved the emotive, the feedback, both the financial feedback that someone would pay me as a 15-year-old kid to make them this t-shirt, and then they'd wear it with such pride and kind of beat their chest. And there was that kind of emotional transaction that was really powerful and created the feedback loop to want me to go and dig deeper and pull on that thread and keep unfolding what eventually became this path of entrepreneurship. It wasn't like I onboarded because someone said, be an entrepreneur, right? I onboarded because I wanted to realize my dream. And I was an emotional, artistic kid. And graffiti, it was kind of the extreme sport of art. That was a moment of luck for me. So many people are like, oh, graffiti's a gateway to crime, right? For me, it was a gateway to entrepreneurship. Go figure. I've really kind of been a curator of like pop culture for, let's say, males 16 to 40. And that's been my lane, having come up in the 80s around hip hop and skateboarding culture and kind of the emergence of technology. I've just kind of trafficked in my hobbies. The things that I consumed as a kid are now the business. Young people know instinctively what it is they need to do. They just need to go out there and get it done. Shifting from what is effectively a consumer mindset to believing in themselves to be a producer. Going from I am consumer of X to I am maker of Y. Right? That's an aspiration that is, amongst all of us, but some of us, we just don't know how to do it. We kind of doubt ourselves. Why is it that you go to a classroom of kindergartners, you ask them, who in this room is an artist? Everybody raise their hand. You ask that same cohort 20 years later, no one raises their hand, maybe one guy, and they look at him like he's a freak. Something's wrong there. You have to connect to your artist, your instigator. It's right brain, it's left brain, it's chocolate, it's peanut butter. You have to find that.
Okay, and we're gonna do one more. Let's do music and airlines.
There was the Vietnamese War was waging, and I was against the Vietnamese War. I was 15 years old. I decided to start a magazine to campaign against it. It's called Student, and it became the sort of the national magazine for young people. The magazine didn't make much money, but it got a big circulation. About 100,000 young people bought the magazine. And one day I took an advert in the magazine, Virgin Records, 10 to 60% off any album on any label, and listed the kinds of records we liked, things like Frank Zappa rather than Andy Williams. And so it became very much the rock and roll mail order company. And then we started signing our own bands that we couldn't get other record companies to release. We released ourselves. There are bands everywhere that want to be found. It's finding the right ones. And I had a 15-year-old boy called Mike Oldfield come to me with a tape called Tubular Bells, which he'd recorded all the tracks himself. I literally went to another record company, borrowed an artist called Sandy Denny's contract, and we typed out the contract. We managed to get The Exorcist to take the music, and that took it to #1 in America. It became a phenomenal success. Moved on and signed bands like the Sex Pistols and the Rolling Stones and a lot of other iconic great bands. In those days, there was quite a lot of money to go around in the record business. A big hit album could sell 10, 15 million albums. We went into the airline business because I had record companies all over the world, and I was traveling a lot on other people's airlines. And there was one time I took a flight from Puerto Rico to the Virgin Islands, and I got bumped by American Airlines and chartered a plane, and I came out with a blackboard, and for fun I wrote Virgin Airlines, $29, to the Virgin Islands, walked around all the people who'd been bumped. I filled up my plane, and then as I was landing, somebody said to me, sharpen up the service a bit and you could go into the airline business. And I've started 3 or 4 airlines, so Virgin Atlantic, Virgin America, Virgin Australia, and they've all gone really well. And the reason they've gone well is because they're the best airlines in their field. And if you're the best hotel or the best shop or the best club or the best airline, you survive. I mean, it's people who try to be second best who normally stumble. The key to our success is to offer people much more than they'd expect. So we offer a much better than first class product for our upper class passengers, but we charge a business class fare. We offer a class above what people would expect. We do lots of nice little things which surprise people. Just little things like, we give people an ice cream when they're watching a movie, or popcorn, or we have a limousine to and from the plane for our business class passengers. And we put seatback videos in our planes 6 years before anybody else did. We're smaller, we're more nimble. We're from the entertainment business, so we know that people like to be entertained. Virgin is always evolving. I start businesses not because I think I'm going to make money out of business. I'm not particularly interested in that. I start businesses because I think I can make a real difference. The main thing to remember, though, is if you do go out to start a business, most people fail. But most people also pick themselves up and try again and again until they finally succeed.
Okay, so now you're going to take some of that information. You have the summary. It's just going to say the ones that you watched. When you get to the reflection, what did you learn from entrepreneurs you watched and what inspired you? You can write about the key things they were able to do that allowed them to create their successful career. What traits did they exhibit that allowed them to do this? What makes these entrepreneurs different from other working adults? And, do you aspire to build a career around a company that you create? We need to make sure that we have at least 4 sentences, always at least 4 sentences. When you have 4 sentences, you are going to complete activity, get the ready confetti, as I call it, ready? Ooh, confetti. All right, you close that. Make sure you submit it on your Google Classroom, otherwise I will not be checking it. Okay, your entrepreneur today is somebody, I don't really know how to say it, Koo In Hoi. I'm not really sure. But anyway, he started LG. It was founded in 1947 in Seoul, South Korea. It started as a plastics business, which was called Lucky, and then they added the Gold Star part to it. They merged then to become Lucky Gold Star, and they shortened it to LG in 1983. LG is not life is good. That is their slogan. the company is Lucky Gold Star, or LG. And that's all I have for today. Yeah, have a great day. Bye.